Dun dun dun
Dun,
dun dun
bum,
dun dun
bum, bada,
dun
bum, bum,
dun dun
bada, bum,
dun dun dun
bum.
dun.
Oh.
Kilted Balls. Ooh, we were so
Woo!
so close to nailing it,
Mm,
man.
I thought we
Yeah.
were
So
on 2, not 3. So
the people on the 8.1,
thank you.
they sent a message today, and we're like, where have you been? It's like so quiet. Why is there no podcast? And then somebody else was like, where's your podcast? We're all dying for episode 37.
Nice.
Like,
Thank you.
okay.
That's super awesome.
I'm like, I guess
mean,
we have fans.
We can start by talking. I mean, that's been for me the most exciting thing that's happened for a long time. Besides this.
Let me tell you what I'm excited about, and I haven't done it yet, and I'll show you why in a second. So for our listeners, you're not going to see this, but Kilted will.
If you're watching,
I am whitelisted for 3 Nailz. So this is the 8.1 drop. So we've been waiting anxiously. And yeah, so random drop. It's randomized for the whitelisters, and it has a chemistry shirt on.
That's sweet.
So we got a chemistry shirt. We got donuts on the hat. Amy said the only thing that's bad about this is the bubble gum.
Oh, I thought it would be the toothbrush.
She said that at first. I was like, what? I brushed my teeth. I brushed them this morning. And she's like, all right, maybe it's the bubble gum.
That's true. It's been many years since you didn't regularly brush your teeth.
Right. I mean, that was back in like when I was 19.
It didn't matter then.
So, no, it didn't matter then. I wasn't trying to get any girls or boys or anything. So it was all good. But yeah, so here is one of them. Okay. And so I'm really excited to get it. And so people watching, you can watch me try to get this, and you will see my my angst. So I'm going to hit buy now. I'm clicking on all the, I agree. Let's go to checkout. You'll see my wallet pop up here. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yeah, I'm getting it. You notice it's going to cost me $211. So that's exciting. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, what? Oh. So for those of you listening, the gas fee right now is $336. The gas is more than the drop.
That is crazy. They're in the bag.
Look at that.
My kilt.
It's almost 0.1.
That's insane.
Now I can lower this, but it's not going to make a freaking difference. Look, still $3.43.
So I got a good deal when I was only paying 0.4 and 0.5 for my gas when I minted mine.
Yeah, so I'm really interested in
or 0.04. I'm sorry, 0.04 and 0.05.
We're probably going to talk to Taco Bell about her a few times, but one of the things is she went and got one of these right away. So awesome. I don't think she's in their Discord. Maybe she is. But she loved the 8.1 as well. And so she's like, oh, gas was so high, but I had so much FOMO. I just had to buy.
That's exactly what I did. I had planned on cool, because last minute, this was a huge announcement. Last minute, there was no Dutch auction.
Yes, last minute.
So everything was 0.09. And if I remember correctly, the Dutch auction was starting at 0.5, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I had planned in my mind that I was paying 0.5. So I ended up getting one for 0.09 plus my gas. It ended up being just under 0.15. And then I got a special artist one. The artist one was 0.3 and then another 0.5. So I ended up getting 2 for the 0.05 that I was planning on spending on one.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. So interesting. I was like not complaining, but I was like, duh, stupid gas on the Discord. And Ray G. Nick, who's one of the moderators, was like, yeah, I'm waiting for a long time as well to buy mine. He goes, on the other hand, he goes, even at double the price, it's still cheaper than what we were going to pay.
Yeah.
Because even for whitelisters, it was going to be 0.09, and they changed the whitelisters to basically 0.05.
Yeah.
So he's like, it's still cheaper. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're right. It is still cheaper than what I was going to pay, but now I'm going to have extra money in my wallet, right?
That's awesome. That's super awesome.
So let's see here for a second, Kilted, if I can do this. It'll take me a half second here. Oh, yep, there they are. Nice. So if you're wondering what Kilted got, I love the curated one.
Yeah.
So for those of you watching on the screen, I was looking at these curated ones and thinking that they were kind of sweet, and it's nice. So it's one of the Nailz, but he's looking at a cell phone, so he's kind of with a blue unearthly light.
Yeah, so it's dark and he's got his cell phone on.
Right, so that one's kind of cool. And then you can see this one, and I thought these ones were cool, so I'm really impressed that you got one. So it has a "Let the Uprising Begin" sign with an eye patch and some teeth.
On the Discord, the one that I picked, it didn't have the eye patch, because when I was looking through them, I liked the "Let the Uprising Begin" sign.
Yeah.
But when it came time to buy and I was looking through them and I saw the eye patch one, I mean, my Bored Ape has an eye patch. And so yeah, I was just like, you know what, I'm getting the eye patch one.
What do you think the SA stands for?
I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Guess we'll find
maybe
out.
It's maybe one of his friends. I didn't even notice that SA in the background.
Easter eggs, baby, Easter eggs. So yeah, so you got some cool ones. Taco Bell got a cool one. You know, I'm excited because I've got 3 there waiting for me.
So you've already seen your 3.
I've already seen my 3. So that one that I showed you was one of mine. Right.
You want to share your others for those who are watching?
Sure. Let me see if I can find them. Let me jump back up here. So let's get back in the screen. So I need shoot, I don't know if I can remember them all. Nailz number 4. The problem with this search is I think it gives me like 400. What? Oh man.
Oh sweet, that's So Rare guy. He's a nail.
He's a nail. Dang it. Okay, let's go to here.
Speaking of So Rare, one more ETH this week. I was debating on just selling all my cards and kind of moving on.
ETH?
I did. I've won a few. I've probably won 0.5. I mean, I spent a lot more than that, but it is fun. Even winning 0.01, it's super fun. Like, you know, basically playing fantasy soccer. Oh, I love that one. I
was like, oh, look, it looks like you too. That's exactly how you eat your hot dogs.
It's exactly how you eat your hot dogs. That's awesome. Yeah, I was looking at the hypnotized eyes as well. Those listening, it's a white and brown Nailz. He's got the blue hypnotized eyes, an RIP tattoo, and a hot dog that's spilling all over the place.
It's all over his chest, all over the ground. Have you watched the first episode?
I have not.
Oh,
of Nailz, there's a first episode.
Yeah, they released they released chapter 1. It's short enough that we could actually put it on the podcast if we wanted. It's pretty sweet. I liked it a lot. And I'm like, awesome. Oh, I need chapter 2. And they're like, we've got it written, we're doing this and that. And I'm like, no. I'm like, I like the anticipation. And that's when people were like, well, we're anticipating episode 37. So here you go.
That's 37. Awesome. See, I knew that there was a story. I didn't realize it was a show story. I thought like
it's not video, it's audio.
Oh, okay. Still, audio is super cool.
Yeah, and the way they did the audio is good. So it's in the 8.1 Discord, the Uncaged.
Well, I've been at the. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it's in there and it's looking good.
I have to do that.
Sounding good. So
nice. Yeah, I was at the Renaissance Festival all day today. Those watching, you see, I have my Sweet Dragon hat on.
That is a sweet hat. Do you?
I did get. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just wondering because right now, Uncaged. Obviously, you can't tell when they're sold out because they're on OpenSea to begin with. Like they did their drop on OpenSea. That being said, I don't think they're anywhere near sold out. My question is do you think gas is what's causing that?
Yes, 1,000%.
Yeah, I mean, like right now, I have one for super cheap, and I'm not buying it because I'm like, I'm not buying it for $400 gas.
Yeah, because I mean, it's $400 to start with. You know, which is for many people gonna be a stretch.
Yeah. And
then if you're looking at, even if it's just double or half that, I should say, another 50%, if you can get your gas where it's only $200.
Yeah.
But that's,
I mean, you're saving at this point, if you can get your gas timed right.
Yeah.
you could be saving hundreds and hundreds of dollars that are just in fees. Gas is the craziest part about the crypto thing.
Yeah.
Right. Which we had a friend, I think during our interview recently asked, or he asked it afterwards, like, can you time it? And you can. Like, I tend to find, as another buddy, he was like, how do you guys deal with gas? And I said, honestly, I aim for like 6 a.m. Eastern time. Right.
Yeah.
Somewhere around 6 a.m., 8 a.m. Eastern time, it tends to be a little lower. To me, personally, it seems a little lower. I go, and then for me also, anytime between like 5 and 11 Eastern time, it seems insane.
Yeah.
So
but I think if there's any available, like just on the open market, which I haven't checked today, that it would be because of gas, like totally, like not even a question. That was one of my concerns when I was getting mine. I was like, I was thankful because they were still there, but I figured it was when I saw the gas price, I figured that's why.
Here's what I love about the way they're doing this drop. I mean, a Dutch auction would have been sweet, but here's what's awesome to me. The floor is still the floor.
Yeah.
Because you know what you're getting, you know what you're buying, you know your rarities, you're picking what you want. And so there isn't people, and it's a great community. So you're not getting flippers and whales. Nobody's coming in and saying, oh, I bought 10 of them to get the rarest one, and now I'm just selling the others at a loss. Because they're like cards.
Yeah. No, I think, and I was wondering, like, and if it's not, it's still totally fine, because the phone one, when I first saw phone one, I thought it was really funny and cool, but I wasn't sure if my other drops would be artist related as well. And if they're not, that's totally fine. But I mean, I thought about getting a third to be able to flip it, but I just got the two. Like, I'm going to go through and
I'm probably going to get my 3.
Yeah.
And if I flip, I flip. If I don't, I don't. I'm not.
Yeah.
Exactly. At 0.05, I bought my 3 unicorns at 0.05. ETH is stupid. ETH is stupid, right? Like, you look at that and you're like, yeah, whatever, I don't care. So people who are looking to buy one of these, if you're wanting to get some that are rarer, there are some rare ones out there right now. I'll tell you right now, at the floor, did I go far too back? No. At the floor right now, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with the not gonna make it soap. And
what does that look like? I didn't click on that.
What did the not gonna make it soap look like?
Yeah. And not gonna make it soap is pretty rare.
I'll click on properties for you in a second. So can you see them?
Okay.
So you see the NGMI soap?
Yeah. Okay. So there's just a few of them. Oh yeah, they're there.
Right, and you can see all these.
I liked that green one too. I liked the if there's a radioactive one.
So if you look at this radioactive one and you go down to properties, you can see.
Oh yeah. Okay.
0.86% have that.
Yeah.
Right, and so like the other radioactive one with the broken nose, that's got a whole bunch of rare traits. So if you like things that are rarer.
Yeah, you can go through and look at those things.
It's got 3%, 3%, 3%, and a 0.86%.
Okay.
Right, so you can get something here pretty.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Pretty good.
That is a nice thing. You're not having the flippers. You're not having a whale come in.
And you can look right now and say, oh yeah, I want this one because it's rare. Or you can be like other people, like, hopefully like a lot of our listeners, and you're like, oh my gosh, I just love the way whatever one looks, right? So you're like, oh, I like this artist curated one. I like how that looks.
Yeah.
Which actually,
because the artist curated ones, they don't have any other traits on them.
They don't have, that's the only trait they have.
Yep.
Right? But like, look at that. It's the drunken donuts. Like, that's hilarious.
It is funny.
So, I mean, there's some good stuff there. And remember, the other thing that's really cool about these for our listeners is one Nailz gets you 7 other NFTs that are supposed to be equally artistic.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's kind of legit.
Did you pick up anything from that first episode of maybe any Easter eggs for an upcoming friend?
It's definitely a girl.
Nice.
But I'm not sure what else.
Nice.
I've got to listen to it a few more times. It was pretty sweet.
That's awesome.
So you went to the Renaissance Festival day and it was a great time.
I had an awesome time. Yes, very fun. I got for those of you who are watching, Tristan and I got matchy kilts. So this is the new kilt.
Oh my goodness, we're gonna have to show that kilt again in a little bit.
Yeah, and someone recognized my hat. This guy came up to me. He had a sweet outfit on, and he's like, "Oh my gosh!" He's like, "Is that hat American Hat Makers?" And I had to take it off and look, and I said, "Yep." And he's like, "If you don't mind, how much did it cost?" And I'm like,
Did you say like 0.1 ETH or 0.2?
I know I should have said that. I was like, I honestly don't remember. I said, I think it was like $350. And Gina was there. I'm like, Gina, how much was my hat? Do you remember? And she like laughed. She's like, he's like, online, it's like 600. She's like, yeah, that was it. I was like, oh, and this, so I like feel, I mean, like, I was just like, I mean, it's an amazing hat and I would do it again. And I go, well, have you ever heard of Bored Ape Yacht Club? And he goes, no. And I was like, well, basically it's an NFT. They gave me one for free and I sold it for 20K like that week. I went and bought the hat because I had sold my dog.
You sold your dog that week, yeah.
So yeah, he ended up, we walked by each other like 3-4 more times and he's like, you have the best hat, like every time. But he had a really sweet steampunk out. Well, because it's Halloween, so there are a lot more costumes than normal.
Right.
So it was a lot of fun, but it was weird, like buying like non-digital stuff, but it was still a lot of fun.
So we went to the Michigan State football game today.
Awesome.
So for those of you not in Michigan or not from the country, Michigan State is a huge rivalry in the Midwest. Mm-hmm. Big football game, and a company asked me to get some volunteers to kind of man their booth. And so got some volunteers, and Brenna and Amy and I went out and manned the booth and got to people watch right in front of the stadium and hang out. And then we kind of met up with some friends at their house and watched the game, and it was a great time. Spartans won, awesome. So
yes, I
go
saw
green. That was cool, but they were laughing at me at one point during the day. Like I turn around and they're both like in the tent, like there was a back wall on it and I was on the other side back wall, and they had both like left me, and I turn and like look, and they're like in the tent just like laughing, and Brenna's like crying, and I'm like, I don't understand. But I'll tell you what I said, and you'll have to tell me if you think this was amusing or not. So one of my old students was there and saw me working, you know, and was like, buyers, and he ran up and, you know, we shook hands and hugged and all that. And I was like, hey, you know, did you tell your bro that I said hi? And he's like, oh yeah, I told him, and just came from there actually. And I'm like, okay, sweet. Do you have your phone with you, Jer? Do you have a device to look on the internet? How about that?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So this guy's persona, like Kilted Dragon, is MMG. So MMG. So look up MMG.
I should look that up. Is what you're saying.
Look up MMG.
MMG.
So, MMG, and so you'll see him, like he pops right up on the videos, right?
Oh, so go to MMG.
Like you can just click the video link kind of at the top and it'll be right there. All right.
Okay, just a second. MMG videos. MMG YouTube.
Yep. So, okay. So this is one of my friends. Oops. This is a kid that I taught in school. So good kid. And his brothers wrestled for me, and, you know, just a really nice family from over here.
Okay, awesome.
So you can see him now. You're looking at him.
Yep.
And you're looking at his channel. And you're looking at his subscribers.
Holy cow.
So he's like standing there, and like we're by the porta potties, and the porta potty line is like, you know, 30-40 meters long.
Yeah.
And there's like 40 of them. And so there's a whole bunch of friends in the front line. And so he's like walking up and he sees me and is like, buyers. And I'm like, man, blah, blah, blah. And so we're like shaking hands, and I'm like, great to see you. And I said that about his brother, and he's like, oh, he goes, I got to take advantage of my friends being in the front of this line. And I'm like, for sure. And so he like runs to the line, which is right by where I'm standing. So we're still kind of talking. And Amy's there too, because we're doing this thing. And I like walk over to him. I'm like, hey, you don't know this, but I go, I want to let you know that I have my own YouTube channel, my own YouTube podcast and stuff. He's like, really? That's awesome. I'm like, yeah. I go, I don't want to brag to you. I go, but I've got 18 subscribers. So I'm kind of a big deal. And he's like, oh my gosh, that's so great. That's so awesome. I'm like, hell yeah. And he fist bumps me and I like walk back. And that's when I turn around and they're both like in the tent, like crying, laughing.
So you didn't know that before?
No, I knew this. Yeah, I know this.
Okay. So you knew it when you were saying it to him.
He had like 1 million subscribers when he was in my class. Like I used to tease him in class all the time.
Okay. That's pretty awesome.
And because one of the things I said to him there while he was sitting there, before I said that to him, I was like, hey, I go, guess what? I go, I finally fast forwarded through one of your episodes. He's like, you didn't just watch it? And I'm like, it was the one where you were kicking field goals at the stadium. And I go, and I just cared whether you made them or not. I didn't need to listen to you talk. He's like, nice.
That's hilarious.
So he's a good guy. For those of you listening who aren't looking up MMG, he has a little bit over 2 million subscribers.
Yeah.
And so like when he goes places, like people are all like swarming him or trying to check him out or whatnot. And so like at this one, there's like all these people like trying to take pictures of him, like hiding behind porta johns and like trying to snap pictures.
Nice.
I'm just like giggling at him the whole time. And of course his friends are all with him and they're all kids that I had in class. So they're all like, Byers, how are you doing? So it was a funny time. It was good.
That's super cool.
But yeah, I was like, yeah, we got 18 subscribers, baby.
That is sweet. Yes, we're getting there.
I know. But he was totally, the thing about him is he is always genuine, right? So
that's cool.
Whether it's real or not, but he's like, that's so great. That's awesome. He's like fist pumping me. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I'm just making it funny and you're like going nuts. So but yeah, he's a good guy. But yeah, so that was cool. The other thing that's cool for KiltedBallz, and we've been waiting for some of this stuff for a long time, but I want to show people this. We have had Taco Bell, who all heard her story. And she's been doing art forever and has been doing stuff, but we brought her on to help us revamp our logo. So if you've ever looked at our logo, we always say it's our draft logo, but she has now helped us make a real one. So you can see we have a new logo today, but here is the big screen version of it.
That is awesome.
That is our new KiltedBallz logo, professionally done. Not me doing it in 5 minutes with paintbrush.
You did a great job for that original logo for sure.
But this is our new real logo with our PFPs and everything else. And the part that is cracking me up right now is look at the kilt on this. And if you're not paying attention, Kilted showed you his new kilt, which is that kilt.
That is so hilarious. We'll have to send a picture of that to Taco Bell. That is so
You
great.
bought the same kilt as your thing.
And I didn't even pick it. Tristan was picked because I was just like, well, get whatever. Because I was like, well, are you going to look up your name? Because we're talking about it. Because, the kids all dressed up for Halloween. And Gina asked him if he wanted a kilt. Because we actually went there real quick a few weeks back to kind of, because they had never been at all.
Okay.
And today we went with Chris and Megan and Jake and Danielle down the street. So it was, we're all there and hanging out and stuff. And he's like, yeah, I do want a kilt. So I had my other one on this morning because I had my hat on and my gloves and everything. So I was full dragon today. Nice. And he was looking, he's like, he had the purple one and he had a brown one. He's like, I like both of these. He's like, which one do you like better? I'm like, I always pick purple. So yeah. That's hilarious.
That is great. I thought you would like that. So KiltedBallz has a new logo, and we're kind of a big deal. So
I guess it was gray. I thought it was brown. I just got a message. Apparently we have a live studio audience.
Do we really? Nice. Nice. It's always good to have live guests. I really enjoyed when we had the 8.1 live that whole time.
Yeah,
So,
that was super cool.
cool.
That was a lot of fun, and you know, a really, really cool community anyways, but it was great that they were on there and listening to us and supporting.
Yeah. Speaking of awesome people, I keep forgetting this, and I'll tag the group maybe sometime on Twitter, but we'll bring it up in our next episode too. But Utilikilt, I want to interview them. I think Utilikilt would be
Yes.
awesome. They do some cool kilts, and we'll
Super
give them a
cool.
plug next time. And you
Mhm.
know, maybe I'll buy a Utilikilt on air. Maybe we should not only interview them, but maybe we should fly out to Washington and have them fit me with a kilt.
That sounds perfect.
Would that not be, because I think that's where their main area is like out to Seattle.
That would be awesome. And as long as there's not any cons nearby, they should be there and having fun.
Well, and the reason that I thought we should go out there is, you know, one of our old friends is out there. We could interview about their journey, like live. Like
That's
they're
true.
not, they're in that general vicinity, right?
Yeah.
And so we could
Yep.
get
I know, I
fitted
wonder
for
where
some
they're at in
kilts and do an
Washington,
interview.
where
That'd
the
be sweet.
Utilikilt is. Do you
I think
know?
it's
Do you have
Seattle.
it? Oh, Seattle. So it's a few
I think
hours
it's
away
Yeah,
from our friend, but yeah.
but Seattle's a great place to visit and hang out, and you know, we
Yeah,
can go
that
there.
sounds perfect. Keep
We
me
can go
updated.
visit Brooks Running. So Brooks is
Yeah.
not in this iteration of my life, but in my other iteration of life, Brooks Running is one of my sponsors. So hashtag
Yeah.
run happy. So that's cool.
Mhm. Yeah, why aren't they sponsoring us? Like, surely
Because
you're a big deal. You should be able to work that
because I
out.
didn't ask them to. I didn't ask them to. I was giving
like KiltedBallz, like it starts, we're singing our logo and like a big Brooks comes up on the screen.
Oh my gosh.
As we're
I
sitting.
gave out like a ton of Brooks swag at practice the other day too.
That's awesome. I don't know if I've ever worn shoes while recording this. So
I honestly, I don't know if I have either. Now that
but when I
think about it.
do, my closest shoes to me right now are my Brooks. So
I
they're right at
have
the
no
Peloton.
doubt that the closest shoes to me are my Brooks, since I pretty much only have Brooks. So
That's awesome.
that's for sure. So thank you all for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed the episode.
Yes.
If you haven't checked out 8.1 Uncaged, check it out. Buy some as soon as gas goes down. Not financial advice. I'm telling you that because the artwork is awesome and they're super cool people. You should join their Discord community. There's a lot of fun. So yeah. I don't know. I think that's it. But thank you all for joining us.
Yes.
And we will probably chat with you guys later on so you can see when I've actually bought my 8.1. Hopefully tonight. I'll probably just stay up all night to buy them.
I might have to get another one. I might have to do some research.
Oh my gosh. Don't you hate that? You fall in love with these projects and you can't stop buying them.
Well, the problem
it's the worst financial ever.
And I can't remember how I have so much ETH. Because I just started selling random ones that I didn't love. Remember, I was talking about that. So I guess this, I mean, well, we can leave what we're talking about. Anyways, I have a bunch of ETH because I've been selling random ones. I unstaked some of my, actually I took profits from some of my Shiba that we were talking about. Remember, it was staked and you could take some profits, and I ended up getting almost a whole ETH from that. And then then the Shiba that I took, I switched to ETH. So I have almost 2 ETH from that. And then I had another ETH sitting in my wallet. So
nice.
It's been productive, but yeah, I have ETH. It's burned a hole in my pocket.
Well, that means people, you're going to see a lot of episodes fast because we got a lot to talk about anyway. And Kilted has ETH to spend. And so we've got to see how he spends his ETH. So that's going to be good.
All right.
All right, people, we love you. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm going to remember to change my name.
Oh, there you go.
We'll talk to you guys all later. Have a great night.
Kill the Dragon Jerry. Love you all.